So we all understand escaping the matrix as basically freedom from limitations, freedom from dogma, freedom to live from one's greatest potential, freedom to harness the power of infinite energy within ourselves and all around us, hence the title of the video. But the word matrix actually means breeding mother or womb and refers to what life or creation is born from. I, for one, have no intention of escaping the energy of the Great Mother, the infinite net of energy from which all comes forth and to which all return. And in fact, what is referred to as escaping the matrix is in reality a return to the real matrix. We aren't actually trying to escape anything, but we absolutely are in the process of breaking shackles and reclaiming our innate and natural power, which is one with the infinite, life-giving, life-sustaining force of the universe. The false matrix, man-made and established by the few in position of material power for those few, is what needs to be disintegrated and dissolved. But this is an entirely internal process. The way out of living according to the socioeconomic, socio-political, geopolitical structures in place, which serve to benefit only the echelons of a corporate world, destroying the harmony of the natural world, which includes all beasts, all plants, all elements, all souls, begins with disintegrating and dissolving our conditioned internal structuring and realigning ourselves with the natural world and natural law, the real matrix. When we believe that life is a laborious struggle to one day achieve a state of sufficient abundance or security, that abundance is finite in opportunity and quantity, that security is fragile and must be sought for and willfully maintained, we are protective instead of creative. We are locked in a state of wanting instead of having. In fact, even if we do have, we may be unable to experience the joys of it because the eye is ever on what to take care of, what to defend, what to seek next, instead of being enveloped in the contentment of the present. Now, abundance and security may mean something different for all of us, but regardless of how we feel their embodiment, the energetic state of lack and longing can keep us perpetually stuck on a hamster wheel in the pursuit of fulfillment. This serves the powers that be of the false matrix extremely well, because we work for those powers to earn enough to buy what they sell in any form of consumption. And it is never enough because we are distracted by the busyness of what it takes to be a supposedly successful human, cut off from the true source of our fulfillment and harmony, which is the experience and expression of flowing, creative, abundant energy, which is what we are. When we're operating from a perspective of an individual who is here to make it, and making it is defined by a collective conditioned for a few thousand years to not only have a very narrow vision of success and prosperity, but also to believe that resources of any form are limited, suffering is inevitable. The avatar that we as consciousness are animating in a completely unique manner is here to provide us, consciousness, with the experience of this unique energetic expression. Its resources are infinite because they come from us as one undivided consciousness, the real matrix. But as long as the avatar is cut off from its infinite supply, just because it believes that it operates on its own in a world of limited opportunity and bases its feeling of self on its skills, abilities, and desirability being proven in the external world and is governed by fear, it is experiencing pain in one way or more, and however the pain is expressed, be it in mental, emotional, or physical health, in relationships, in finance, in social status, in creative or professional endeavors, it uses that suffering as evidence for concepts like failure, injustice, loss, or misfortune. And then its entire life becomes about avoiding or protecting itself from perceived failure, injustice, loss, or misfortune. This is because when our avatar is attached only to itself and what it believes encompasses its life, we experience life through what is very often referred to as the ego, as in an ego that causes suffering. Ego just means I am, so in itself this is natural and healthy to know that one exists. An avatar being conscious of itself and its instinct to preserve its life is necessary. But when the act of self-preservation in terms of life becomes conflated in the mind to include preservation of identity as a character, defending the traits and form of the avatar, and protecting its entitlement to proceed in life according to that form, now we have a distorted and confused ego that does cause suffering. Once the avatar is cut off from the real matrix in the mind, because in reality it can never be, the energy of the universe suffuses and permeates everything. But once it is cut off, it behaves as though it is a solitary entity instead of part of a whole, which is completely against nature and natural law. We see this in absolutely everything: our bodies, the ecosystems, the galaxies. Everything is operating in harmony together. Absolutely nothing can exist in a vacuum. No life, minute or galactic, can be birthed or sustained without intricate collaboration between an unknowable number of factors, elements, and entities. Life is interdependent, and this is nothing less than love, distributed and managed with tremendous intelligence. There is no verbal or written or signed assurance between all these parties. Neither is nature instructed to trust and surrender to a higher power. Life simply understands that life must be, and there is only one way, and that is life forward. Whatever is happening is always for the purpose of creation, its transformation, and its sustenance endlessly. There is no space for fear or insecurity. Everything involved has the same purpose. Yet the human mind has been corrupted to fall out of this knowing, this loving function of connectedness, and therefore fallen out of natural, collaborative living, where it understands that life preservation means preservation of all life, because all of life needs each other, all energy is intertwined. It has lost its connection to the real matrix, and this loss is one of a deeply feminine energy, and instead operates according to the laws of the false matrix, which state that one must preserve oneself and one's aspirations by harnessing resources that are visibly and tangibly available, yet limited. And well-being lies in visible and tangible success, which is limited in its definition. This is a deeply distorted masculine energy. Our perceptions are our experiences. Therefore, one of the most important things to become aware of are our perceptions, so that if necessary, they can be altered for the highest good of all. These are very clearly outlined in our natal chart, the ones that benefit and support us, the ones that may be destructive or limiting, what kind of experiences can transform our perceptions, and most importantly, how we ourselves can actively engage with our perceptive mind, thereby facilitating a desirable lived experience. I mentioned in the previous video how our natal chart placements represent the form of the avatar we as pure consciousness animate, its characteristics, and its hero's journey. The chart shows where we have come from in terms of past experiences, and for those who are inclined to believe, through past lives, and how we are on a continuous journey through this life to alchemize past and present energies into their golden form, creating a beautiful life to be present for, and offering our love, our power, our talents, not just for the sake of now, but for the future of those beloved unborn. This includes pleasure, health, abundance, service, sharing, connecting, protecting, nurturing, and playing. Playing is paramount and is the true path of learning for the avatar. We, as part of one unified consciousness, created the avatar to play, but unless the avatar is enjoying the game, consciousness can't either. Playing with energy in whatever form it shows up is true responsibility. Responsibility is the ability to respond, and nothing is more natural or creative in response than the ability to play. When that is our perspective, that's the real game changer. Playfulness means openness. It's an inviting energy. It attracts more playful experience and opportunity, be it through people, places, things, or ideas. It is a flowing energy. It's unrestricted and allows energy to move where and how and when it needs to, unencumbered. Now, there's so many ways to play, and the natal chart shows us what we're innately good at engaging with in play, where we need to learn how to play, and what blockages are in place preventing us from playing with the universe, limiting our potential in both unleashing our magic and receiving the magic that is ours to know. There is no distorted ego in playfulness. That's why it's so enjoyable, so innovative, so liberating. There's no sense of self-preservation in the state of play. The potency of creation is simply flowing through you. Time and space melt away. Only the pleasure of presence exists, no matter what you're doing. This is the purpose of consciousness, and to do so in an infinite number of ways. And one of these is through the avatar and its skills, its desires, its preferences, its strengths, its curiosities and interests, its physicality, its longings, its pains, its transformations, its unique way of embodying and expressing love. The natal chart shows us the distorted ego version of the avatar, why it exists, which experiences through trauma and conditioning may have manifested unhealthy subconscious belief systems and mental patterns, what kind of familial, cultural, and sociological inheritance it may still be holding on to, even though it no longer serves the journey of the avatar now. What kind of physical symptoms and conditions reflect or express the need for psycho-emotional cleansing and nourishment, and how and why fear disables one from engaging with life playfully. Basically, why we remain trapped in the false matrix. It also shows us how to return to our true nature, which is to understand and become one with the real matrix. When the fear and limiting beliefs are removed, the avatar takes on an entirely different expression. But everyone's experiences are very personal and individual, especially when it comes to understanding energy that sits deep in the tissues of our being. Very often we have behavioral and reactive patterns that don't correlate to experiences in this life. We also have a deeper guidance, an ancient wisdom, memories of love, knowledge, and oneness that need to be tapped and brought forth now, which are exactly what connect us back to the real matrix. And each avatar has their own peculiar and particular set of tools, toys, potions, and allies to make this journey. And the natal chart shows us what they are and how to work and play with them. This is invaluable information because it cuts down immensely on time spent trying to figure out wounding and healing. It is very obvious in astrology and provides a clear path as well as methods with which we can best express our purpose of intricate, intelligent, interesting, loving, and playing. Once the avatar recognizes its connection to the real matrix, that it is by nature in reception of the infinite supply of abundance that lies in the field of boundless energy, that is here for the sake of consciousness to know itself, us to know ourselves in new ways, all the time. It no longer operates as an identity-preserving entity, which stagnates or blocks transformation, growth, and abundance in any desired form. It is free. It is safe and secure simply because it knows it is a product of the ever life-sustaining universe, and its task is just to be open and ready to receive energy that flows into it, to alchemize that energy into an original masterpiece, and then open up to offering it back out, enjoying every moment of this sacred play.